A lot of you other writers out there have probably consumed a lot of writing advice. Outlining methods, creating characters and arcs, personal time management, how to get motivated to write, finding your unique voice. Yeah, a lot of that advice can go right in the trash. Hi there, I'm Lulu. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Alright, despite my perhaps intentionally inflammatory opening to this video, I am by no means saying that all advice in and of itself is bad advice. Obviously not. But just like how peanut butter and milk and shellfish are all delicious and healthy foods for me, they are poison to others. Likewise, outlining about 70% of a novel and mostly winging it with characters is great advice for me. But for others, following that advice could kill their novel, or at least kill the fun of writing it, which, yeah, would probably end up killing the novel too. I don't know about anybody else, but it sometimes feels like I must be doing something wrong because a lot of advice out there, much of it from reputable sources, just does not work for me. I don't write character interviews, for example, because guess what? My characters aren't real people. So contriving phony baloney interviews with them would just smother my creativity and kind of make me feel like a jackass. Neither do I fill out character trait cards like I'm about to go on a D&D campaign. Like, I don't even know half that stuff about myself. I mean, look at these things. Why do I feel like I'm doing my taxes? Besides all that, while I'm not exactly John Douglas here, I'm pretty good at reading people. At least for a civilian anyway, and I have a fairly accurate gut instinct about humans and why they are the way they are. For me, trying to turn people into a formula just takes all the humanity out of them. So I'll just follow my gut instinct and leave the paperwork to the accountants. Of course, you might be hearing this little tirade of mine and thinking to yourself how wrong I am because, well, doing character interviews and filling out trait cards makes your characters feel like real people, fleshed out and well-rounded and all that. On the other hand, you might hear advice on outlining and turn your nose up at it because you find it limiting. Outlines make your stories come off as contrived and artificial, and your well-fleshed out characters that you spent so much time crafting just don't thrive in it. They don't fit with your plot, and you wasted all that time listening to advice on outlining. Advice that I wish I'd listened to before I discovery wrote 2 failed novels. Sure, but those failed novels followed a story structure despite not having an outline because I think story structure is something innate to basically everybody. No, there was no excess fat to trim. The relevant characters all had their full-fledged arcs and the themes were strong, but the stories just lacked focus. I can't really explain it any better than that. Why is it so dark? Advice on outlining was a game changer for me. But it might be game over for you. If when it comes to publishing, something that, despite having a full-fledged novel ready to rock at the moment, I am still very far away from, the advice you hear is certainly not a one-size-fits-all situation. Some people will tell you with absolute certainty that traditional publishing is dead and buried and you're never going to get anywhere until you come to realize that self-publishing is the future. But others insist with just as much conviction that self-publishing is no better than throwing your novel into a bottomless black void. No one will read it unless you're an expert at marketing, and even then you're not likely to do well. So when it comes time to publish, which apparently hopeless path are you gonna take? Me, personally, I still don't know. There's a lot of advice floating around out there, and I'm just gonna have to listen, learn, consider, and come to a decision about what's best for me. You're gonna have to do the same, and I might come to a complete opposite decision from you, but we could still have both made the right call. Because no 2 successful authors will walk the same path. But when you get right down to it, they've both braved the journey and made it to the end. However they've done it the right way. But that's just this writer's opinion. What about you guys? What writing advice out there just does not work for you? And what alternatives did you come up with? Drop your comments down below. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell for more content like this in the future, and I will see you in the next video.